Hey Oscar fam. So today we're going to be looking at a fish called Flowerhorn, a mystical looking creature. So I actually stumbled upon a video of the fish and I kind of wondered, I think a lot of people have this question of why is the Flowerhorn's head so big? And in my younger days, before I could actually get into this hobby, I was told the fish apparently bumped into the glass and that's the reason the head is actually swollen. I think yes, it was actually funny, and only after when I got into the hobby did I actually understand of why does that have a nuchal hump. I think I'm pronouncing it right, nuchal hump, or the cock. The word cock is actually pronounced K-O-K, so they refer to it as cock. So apparently this fish was bred, there is a lot of fish that were actually bred, like selective breeding that was done over a period of time, and the end result was this. And even now we do have a lot of varieties of Flowerhorns, and again, that is going to be a separate topic for us for another day. So today what we're going to be looking at is the head. What is the head of the Flowerhorn actually made of? And I think there's only one particular reference or a photograph which dates back to the, I think, way back in 2010 or 2011, about a fish where it was actually I think it was a deceased Flowerhorn where there was an incision made on the head, and I wouldn't say an incision, but then again an actual like an autopsy made on the fish to understand what is actually inside the head of the particular fish, right? And so yes, the reason why I'm actually putting this video together is because to kind of educate everyone on what is actually inside the Flowerhorn's head. I did stumble upon this video from another YouTuber called something fishy. I think this gentleman's name is Mr. Satya, and this is his fish apparently. Yeah, this content is his, and I mean not the content but the fish is his. And I kind of stumbled upon this video and I thought, let me actually speak about this and speak on it. I mean, yeah, I did have a word with him that I'm going to be using this video and stuff. So as you can see over here, there is a hole in the head, right? So apparently this fish, this particular Flowerhorn, was actually used for breeding. I mean, this was supposed to be a good meal, and it was supposed to be bred, right? And so what happens on this particular scenario is, so I'm going to be referring to Mr. Satya. He actually stepped out. I mean, he had some urgent work wherein he had to kind of step out, and he wasn't at home, and there was no one else to take care of them and stuff like that. So due to some urgent or some personal issues, so what happens? These two fish were left together, and they were apparently hungry. And since the female was already trying to lay eggs and stuff like that, what happened as the female gets hungry, she starts literally chewing on the Flowerhorn's head, on the male Flowerhorn's head, and it kind of leaves a dent in the head. God forbid nothing happened to the fish, because the fish is hale and hearty. I did check with him on that as well. What happened if it actually recovered from the issue and stuff like that. So it is hale and hearty. So now, looking at the fish, so what is the Flowerhorn's head made of? Apparently the Flowerhorn's head is made up of fat. Yes, it is actually surprising to me as well. It is more like the camel's hump, like where the camel actually stores fat in its hump. Similarly, the Flowerhorn's head, the cock, is actually made up of fat. So if you'll notice, you might have noticed wherein a camel's hump kind of loses its shape and kind of slags, right? Similarly, the same thing happens to the Flowerhorn's head as well, when the fish kind of undergoes stress or any sort of conditions. I mean, it could be the water conditions, or it could be the food, or any sort of stress that it kind of undergoes, and immediately the head kind of starts to deteriorate. And the better the food, the better the results in the cock. So what happens over here is that's one of the reasons where they say you kind of need to feed a lot of protein for the Flowerhorns in order for the cock to grow. And that's one of the reasons, because it kind of ends up storing fat in its head, and every time it kind of and even when it when they kind of have this mating ritual and stuff like that, right? Even then the Flowerhorn's head kind of resides, it kind of reduces. So, and similarly even the female kind of loses color and stuff like that. So similarly, this is what happens to the flowerhorn. And if you look at this, I was actually told the flowerhorn's head contains fat and water. By the looks of it, that is actually true. I mean, but when you kind of refer to that image of the head, the one I was referring to, which was dated way back in 2010, it looks a lot different from what we have today, or the video which we have today. Because if you look at it, the head kind of looks hollow, right? And because it's kind of made up of these translucent, like jellyfish kind of texture is what I was told. So by the looks of it, that's what it is. And once it heals, I think with medication and food, I think the fish was able to heal up, cover up the wound, and now it's completely all right. So stay tuned for more videos like this, and please don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Thank you.